Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a book review for you, and this is for What the Heart Wants by Audrey Carlan. And let me tell you why I read this book, because I actually got this from my library just yesterday and read it in just, a few hours. It takes about 3 or 4 hours to read I think this book was 318 pages. In any event, I have a blog tour coming up for To Catch a Dream on March 2nd or March 5th. I think March 5th. And I read that book, and it was such a good book, especially because I'm reading a book called Sacagawea by Annalie Waldo about a young Native American who accompanied Lewis and Clark. So when I started to read, I'm reading that in sections, but I went ahead and took a break after maybe close to 300 pages and read To Catch a Dream. And the primary character was half Native American. So I felt really connected to that, to Catch a Dream, because I'm reading Sacagawea. So I read To Catch a Dream. I'm going to make that video after I make this video. And as I got to the author's note, or the acknowledgments at the end of To Catch a Dream, I realized that it was book number 2 in the Wish series by Audrey Carlan. Now, 99 times out of 100, I go to Goodreads and I look these books up so that I read books in order. That's something that's very important to me, but it's only something that I manage to do maybe 85 to 90% of the time. There's just some cases where I can't always take the time to read previous books in a series. But as soon as I finished To Catch a Dream, I was so impressed that I grabbed my phone, I went to Hoopla, and I said, let me see if this book that the book cover is up there, What the Heart Wants, would be on Hoopla. It was. Put it on, and I listened to it in 2 settings, maybe 80% in here in my office, and then I went in my room and I finished it. So that's why I read What the Heart Wants. Like I said, I got it from my library. You can get it at Amazon, I think, for $7.99, but check out your library just like I did. So why was I really happy to interrupt my already overflowing TBR to read a library book? It's because of the nature of To Catch a Dream. And again, I am making that video after I make this one. Well, the characters, and let's just focus on this book. This book, the primary protagonist is Suda K. Ross. Suda K. Ross is the daughter of a full Native American woman and a white father. Now, her mother had the wanderlust spirit. Her feet would itch, and she would just have to travel every time. And meanwhile, her father, who we find out later in the book was her stepdad, and actually I think we talk more about that in the second book of the series. He was in the military, so anytime her mother traveled, Suda K and her sister Evie would stay with their grandfather on the reservation, and I believe he was full Comanche, like a Comanche elder. So they pretty much grew up on the reservation. Happy, busy, active children who didn't suffer the loss of the fact that their parents weren't always there. Now, when Suda K was a teenager, her mother got ill, and after her mother died, Suda K and Evie were handed a packet of letters. The instructions were to open 1 letter each year on their birthdays. So when the girls opened their letters, Suda K was 18 and Evie was 20. They're 2 years apart in age. One of the things that her mother said in Suda K's letter is, I know your heart and your spirit is just like mine. Fly away. And Sudake, just about to graduate from high school, just found a way to show her 4-year long relationship with Camden Bryant that she loved him to distraction, but her mom said fly away. So that's what Sudake does. She leaves Evie behind, her grandfather behind, and the lover of her life, Camden, behind. And she travels. She goes everywhere. Argentina, Europe, Africa, you name it. Sudake does this for 10 years. Happy as a lark. No problems whatsoever. But remember, every year on her birthday, she opens a letter. So when she opens a letter on her 28th birthday, she feels impelled by what her mother had to say in that letter to come home. So she goes home. Now, this begs a lot of questions. Has she slaked the wanderlust spirit? Can she regain that very close relationship she had with her sister Evie? And what about Camden? He still lives in town. She calls him Cam. What will he think about Sudake returning? So she returns home and she comes up with a business plan to open a boutique. And now Camden becomes involved in her everyday life, but only in a business sense. Her setting up the boutique involves Camden and of course others. But while she's seeing Camden every day as a result of the business plan, we see the baggage that exists between the two of them. Because for one thing, Camden is hurt, heartbroken, even angry that she left 10 years previously. But the other part of it is they both still carry a torch for one another. So basically, my questions that I wrote in my written review is, can she leave the past behind her? Will her and Cam find a way to get back to each other? Will they be able to build a future together? And will they prove that destiny or their destiny matches? I loved this story. It was a beautiful, warm, wonderful story. I'm really glad that I took the time to read this yesterday, because I now know or feel that there's going to be a third book, that this is most likely to be a trilogy, and I already, because I read book 2 already, have an idea who the third book would be about. So I love this book and I thought I should make the video. Like I said, I got it from my library, but I will link the Amazon. I will give you the Amazon link in the description below. If you do use my link to buy the book as an Amazon affiliate, I would get a couple of pennies, but it won't affect your cost for the book. But I just thought, for a nice, wonderful romance, I would share this review with you. So that's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.